Hassan Flatter. Honorable Flatter is invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I am Abubakar Flatter. I represent PLENARY Krika Samaguri Federal Constitution. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, discharge of committees on referrals on bills pursuant to Order 18, Rule 3G of the Standing Orders of the House of Representatives. House notes that the following bills were separately read a second time and referred to various committees of the House for decisive action, namely Federal Teaching Hospital Makudi, Benue State Establishment Bill 2022, House Bill 1889, referred to Committee on Health Institution. Birth, Death, etc. Compulsory Registration Act Amendment Bill 2019, House Bill 74, referred to House Committee on Population. Explosives Act Amendment Bill 2020, House Bills 369 and 822, referred to Committee on National Security and Intelligence. Federal College of Forestry, Pura, Bauchi State Establishment Bill 2021, House Bill 1496, referred to House Committee on Environment. Federal College of Health Technology, Ningi, Bauchi State, House Bill 149, referred to Committee on Health Institutions. Federal College of Agriculture, Warji, Bauchi State Establishment Bill 2019, House Bill 520, referred to House Committee on Tertiary Institutions. Aware that the committees are yet to present reports on the bills, contrary to the provisions of Order 18, Rule 3G of the Standing Orders of the House of Representatives. To it, any matter referred to any committee shall be treated within 30 days. Otherwise, the committee shall stand discharged after 60 days, and the matter committed to the Committee of the Whole for consideration. House resolves to discharge the committees above mentioned from the bills referred to them and commit same to the Committee of the Whole for consideration. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Seconder, Abubakar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Abubakar Abdullah Ahmed is my name. I'm from Sokoto, representing Sokoto North Sokoto South Federal Constituency. I rise to second the motion heavily moved by Honorable Flatter. I so second. Thank you.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. The 20th order of the day is a motion on need to investigate and prosecute the perpetrators of the attack on the campaign train of Mrs. The 19th order of the day is a motion on committal of bills standing under no Honorable Abubakar Hassan Flatter. Honorable Flatter is invited to move the.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I am Abubakar Hassan Flatter. I represent PLENARY Krika Samaguri Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, recommittal of bills. Federal College of Education Mutembiu, Establishment Bill, etc. Bill 20. Federal College of Education Mutembiu, Establishment Bill 2022, House Bill 1136. Federal Medical Center Ogoja, Establishment Bill 2022, House Bill 276. Federal College of Horticulture Okigwe, Establishment Bill 2021, House Bill 1456. House notes that the above listed bills were passed by the National Assembly and transmitted to the President for assent. Also notes that the bills were returned from the President with observations, which, if addressed, the bills may be represented to the President for assent. Resolves to commit the bills to the Committee of the Whole for consideration. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Halims.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. Abdullah Ibrahim Ali Halims is my name. I'm from Kogi State, one of the most peaceful states in this country today. I represent the good people of Ankpa, Omala, Lamboro Federal Constituency. I rise to second the motion as ably moved by our Chairman, House Committee on Rules and Services. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's it. The 28th order of the day is a motion on need to investigate and prosecute the perpetrators of the attack on the campaign train of Mrs. Natasha Akoti in Kogi State, standing in the name of Honorable Sergius Oseogun and 3 other honorable members. Honorable Ogun is invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and my highly esteemed colleagues. I'm Sergius Ogun. I represent Eastern Northeast, Eastern Southeast, and I am from Edo State. Mr. Speaker, I rest. The House notes that Section 14(2) of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, provides that the security and welfare of the people of Nigeria shall be the primary purpose of government. The House is aware that Section 40 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as 1999 as amended, provides that every person shall be entitled to assemble freely and associate with other persons, and in particular may form or belong to any political party, trade union, or any other association for the protection of his or her interests. The House is also aware that Section 42 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, provides that a citizen of Nigeria of a particular community, ethnic group, place of origin, sex, religion, or political affiliation shall not be subjected to any form of discrimination. The House is informed that on December 3rd, 2022, suspected political thugs and hoodlums attacked the campaign train of the senatorial candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, of the Kogi Central Senatorial District, Mrs. Natasha Akoti Uduaghan, during her rally from Okene to Adavi, injuring several persons and shooting one person. The House is worried that despite the avowed commitment of the federal government to implement the 35% affirmation action, discrimination against women seeking elective posts still exists in the country. The House is disturbed that at a time when all relevant stakeholders are suing for peace and calling on political actors to be tolerant of opposition, thugs and hoodlums suspected to be sponsored by opposition, audaciously attack the campaign train of the senatorial candidate of a political party. The House resolves to 1, condemn the attack on the campaign train of Mrs. Natasha Akoti Uduaghan as an act of political intolerance that should not be tolerated. 2, urge the Inspector General of Police to investigate the attack on the campaign train of Mrs. Uduaghan and prosecute those directly and remotely responsible for the attack. And number 3, mandate the committees on police affairs and legislative compliance to ensure compliance and report back within 4 weeks for further legislative action. Mr. Speaker, my highly esteemed colleagues, I so move.
Seconder. Maki.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My honorable colleagues, I am Abubakar Maki Eleman. I'm from Jigawa State. I represent Malamudori Kaugama Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion heavily moved by my senior colleagues, Honorable Sergius. I so second. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay.
before the vote, sir.
Before the question?
Yes, before the vote.
Yes, sir.
I think there is a need to enlighten this House about the content of this motion, because this motion is investigative in nature, and as such, the House should not be seen to have entered the arena, because in the content of the motion, the sponsor of the motion is already concluding that the attack was sponsored by the opposition. And at the same time, he is saying that it should be investigated. Which opposition? So as such, we should amend it, remove any reference to an opposition or group of people. Rather, is the investigation that will show who sponsored this attack. Because the notion is that once you say opposition, which one is opposition? It's APC that is in opposition for this state.
Well, it's not only APC that is in opposition. The
So
APC,
so
well,
you don't want any reference
no,
to any
sir.
opposition party.
I want to differ a little bit with you. APC is a main party in Kogi State, so it's not opposition. So if it's referring to opposition, it may be NPP, it may be other political parties, ABGA, not APC. Right? So, no, excuse me, sir. Secondly, if it is not in the prayers, but in the body of the motion, it means then it's pointing a direction for investigation. And in the course of investigation, if nothing is found, it will be turned off. I don't think we need to exacerbate in the debate for this one. It is investigative. Amendment? I think I've already put in the question, except that he wanted to. Thank you. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Why are you using your voice as if you are winning? Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Respected colleagues, the 21st order of the day is a motion on need for alternative and renewable power supply in Nigeria, standing in the name of Chukuma Umeji. Honorable Umeji is invited to move the motion.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I am Honorable Chukuma Umeji, representing the good people of Agwata Federal Constituency. I am from Anambra State. I rise to move the motion for the need for an alternative and renewable power supply in Nigeria. The House notes that the major driver of sustainable economic development growth is reliable electricity supply and has remained on the front burner of all government initiatives. Also notes that electricity in Nigeria is generated through thermal and hydropower sources, and the main source of electricity generation comes from fossil fuels, especially gas, which accounts for 86% of the capacity in Nigeria, with the remainder generated from hydropower sources. The House further notes that a nation plagued with a epileptic power supply must suffer delayed development and risk associated with the loss of potential investors in the market. Cognizant that Nigeria's inability to achieve stable power supply over decades is a pointer to the fact that its over-reliance on gas and, to a lesser extent, hydroelectric power sources alone needs to be reviewed. Observes that the lack of electricity supply in rural areas is a deterrent for businesses to thrive, thus resulting in rural-urban migration, which leaves the rural areas grossly underdeveloped. Aware that despite government efforts to fix the problem of power sector, Most business organizations depend largely on alternative power sources as generators to function effectively, a situation that has significantly increased their capital expenditures and operating expenditures, thus increasing charges for services rendered. Concerned that traditional diesel generators emit greenhouse gases that have a detrimental effect on the environment, and given the dependence on generators across the country daily, the country is gradually heading to an era of natural disasters. Also aware that Nigeria is endowed with abundant renewable energy resources, the significant ones being solar energy, biomass, wind, and small and large hydropower, with potential for hydrogen fuel, geothermal, and ocean energies. However, the exploitation and utilization of renewable energy sources in the country is very low. The House further notes that to enhance energy security and sustainability through the diversification of feedstock for power generation, the use of coal and other renewable energy resources hitherto unused, such as wind, solar, and biomass, have to be fully deployed in partnership with private sector. Also cognizant that if the private sector is allowed to invest in mini-grid capabilities to serve communities or local government areas, regions, or target industrial clusters, there will be a significant improvement in electricity distribution across the country. Further cognizant that the combination of effect and secure energy will enable the federal government to achieve the dual goals of ensuring that Nigeria's economy enjoys overdue benefits of constant power supply, the House do resolve to urge the federal government to focus on exploration of renewable energy such as nuclear, solar, biomass, and wind as nationwide alternative sources of power supply to residents. Urge the federal government to establish a clear investor-friendly framework for private sector investment in alternative power supply across the country. Mandate the Committee on Power to liaise with relevant stakeholders in the public and private sectors to develop the best strategies for sustainable, alternative, and renewable energy distribution in the country. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Maybe before you second, I don't know whether Honorable Meji have taken time to go through the act establishing the Energy Commission of Nigeria. Energy Commission of Nigeria, almost all the prayers given here are what are supposed to be their own function. And I don't know how emotion can cure an act. All the things you raise are the main functions of Energy Commission of Nigeria.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, the motion is just to reiterate and re-emphasize the need for those things captured in the Act to be addressed. And we know that as the problem of power continues, yesterday, in the matter of urgent national importance, we dealt with the problem of energy problem. And this is the fastest way to cure energy lapses in the country. And that is why I deem it very necessary to, by way of motion, re-emphasize and reiterate the need for us to pay attention once more to this sector. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Well, I think, Leader.
Yeah, I remain Honorable Ndudi Godwin Elmelu, and I represent our North West Federal Constituency. I think the motion is just trying to reinforce the provision of the EPSR Act, Electric Reform Act, that under the Electric Reform Act, there's already a provision there for renewable energy. So I think what the motion should be doing is to re-emphasize on the need to enforce that provision in the EPSR Act of 2005.
So we're speaking the same thing, whether in the Electric Reform Act or in the Energy Commission, we have provisions adequately to cater for that.
Yes.
So thank you.
There is.
Seconded to the motion. Deputy Chairman, Women Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. Thank you, honorable colleagues.
I hope you know that he's the happiest man in this chambers.
Very well, sir.
Thank you.
Very well, sir. I remain Honorable Vincent Ekene Delichukwu Ofumelo, Deputy Chairman, House Committee on Women Affairs and Social Development. I represent the good people of Oyi and I am a federal constituency. I'm from Anambra State. I rise this afternoon, Mr. Speaker, to second this important motion to better the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, honorable colleagues.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against any, the ayes have it. The 22nd order of the day is constitution of a bill for an act to establish a federal college of medical laboratory sciences and technology, ICA Midim, Akwa Ibom State, to provide for courses leading to the award of diplomas and certificates in medical laboratory technology and other related courses and for related matters. Honourable members will recall that the bill was committed to the Committee of the Whole on Wednesday, 7th December 2022. The leader will move for its consideration. Leader, consideration. Consideration first.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable members. I rise to move that item number 22, a bill for an act to establish the Federal College of Medical Laboratory Science and Technology, ECAMIDIM, Akwa Ibom State, to provide for courses leading to the award of diplomas and certificates in medical laboratory technology and other related courses and for related matters be considered. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I move for its consideration.
Whip.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I second the motion for consideration of bill item number 22 on the order paper.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. The 23rd order of the day is the consideration of bill for an act to provide for the establishment of Nigerian Military Academy, MOMA, Okwo, Igbo Exe, North Igbo State, to be a military institution with the power to award degrees in accordance with the academic standards prescribed by the National University Commission and for related matters. All members will recall that the bill was committed to the Committee of the Whole on Wednesday, 23rd November 2022. The leader will move for its consideration.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My respected colleagues, I remain Honorable Ado Dogwa. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I represent the good people of Chudumada, Dogwa Federal Constituency. Honorable members, I am from Kano State. Item number 23 on the order paper, Mr. Speaker, reads, and I read that a bill for an act to provide for establishment of Nigerian Military Academy, Umoma, Okpo, Igbo as the North, Enugu State, to be a military institution with power to award degrees in accordance with the academic standards prescribed by the National Universities Commission and for related matters, HB 1573. Mr. Speaker, I move for its consideration. Thank you.
Whip.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, my name is Mohamed Tahir Munguno. I represent Martin Munguno, Ganze Federal Constituency of Borno State. I second the bill for consideration of the House. The bill as itemized number 23 on the order paper.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. The 24th order of the day is concerning a report of the Committee on Steel on a bill for an act to constitute the Meteorological Training Institute, Onitsha, by establishing the National Meteorological Training Institute, Onitsha, to provide training, information, supervision, guidance, and advice to students, researchers, and personnel in iron and steel, and oil and gas industry for national development and following matters. Honorable members recall that the report was read on Tuesday, laid on Tuesday, 5th April 2022. Honorable Abdullah Halim will move for his consideration. Ready.
Off your mic.
Honorable Halims, can you adjust your headdress, please? It's too much to the forehead.
Thank you. Honorable distinguished colleagues, I rise to move a motion that the House will consider the report of the Committee on Steel on a bill for an act to reconstitute the Meteorological Training Institute, Onitsha, by establishing the National Meteorological Training Institute, Onitsha, to provide training, information, supervision, guidance, and advice to students, researchers, and personnel in iron and steel and oil and gas industries for national development and for related matters, HB 356, and approve the recommendation therein. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Seconder, Honorable John Day.
Okay, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, Dr. John Jay is my name, Benue State, Boko Taka Federal Constituency. I second the motion as moved by Honorable Halims. I so second.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. The 25th order of the day is consideration of two reports of the Committee on Maritime Safety, Education and Administration, or Melinda Chuba. The President will move for their consideration.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Oh, it's working now. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My name is Linda Chuba Ikbeazu. May I move that the House do consider the report of the Committee on Maritime Safety, Education and Administration on a bill for an act to repeal the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency Act 2007 and enact the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency Bill to provide for the establishment of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency for the promotion of maritime safety and security, protection of the marine environment, ship registration and commercial shipping, maritime labor, and for related matters, HB 1476, and approve the recommendations therein. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Seconder, Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Honorable Ndodi Godwin Elumelu, and I represent the good people of Anyocho Shimli Federal Constituency. I'm from Delta State. I rise to second the motion moved by MML, the mother of minority leader, Honorable Linda Ipazu. I so second. Mr. Speaker, please let me correct what I quoted because we are being watched outside. The EPSR Act, Electric Power Sector Reform Act. That was what I was quoting as at the time I spoke. I don't want the media to take us wrongly. Thank you, sir.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. The 26th order of the day is consideration of 4 reports of the Committee on Popular Petitions. Honorable Jenny Elagboson will move for their consideration. He did only one? No, I asked him for 2 reports. That she presented only one. You presented only one for consideration? It's assumed you read 2. I don't know if you can, whether you can donate another 5 kg there. Seconder. Yes, sir. No? No. Behind. At least we should spread.
Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Mani Mechinko, member representing Miji Islam Federal Constituency. I'm from Sokoto State. I rise to second the motion that has been moved by our leader, Linda. I so second.
Colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. The 26th order of the day is consideration of 4 reports of the Committee on Popular Petitions. Honorable Jerry Lagboson, leader and elder, will move for their consideration.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, and my colleagues. My name is Jerry Alabas. I'm from Imo State, Mr. Speaker, representing our Lower Son East Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker and colleagues, I rise to request the House to consider the 4 reports. 4 reports from the Committee on Public Petitions, Mr. Speaker. And starting from 1, I rise that the House do the report on Outdoor Advertising Association of Nigeria against the Department of Outdoor Advertising and Senate FCT Abuja, a cry for urgent help to rescue their practice and businesses in the Federal Capital Territory from the insensitivity and strangulating grip by the above stated department, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to plead that the same consideration be given to item number 28, 29, and 30, as related in the other paper, Mr. Speaker. I so plead for consideration, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Sergeant Ogun, sit down. Honorable Sergeant Ogun. Honorable Sergeant Ogun, return back to your seat. Leader, resume your seat.
Thank you. Comrade.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, honorable comrade Chineduoga Owen. I represent Ikwe Zasa Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Ebonyi State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion able moved by the ranking member, Honorable Jelly Aboso. I hereby second.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader, I move that the House will dissolve the committee of the whole to consider the report. Move that the House will dissolve into committee of the whole to consider the report.
Hello. Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I rise to move that this House do resolve to committee of the whole to consider reports. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so humbly move.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, my name is Mohamed Tahir Manguno. I represent Marcha Manguno Nganze Federal Constituency of Borno State. I second the motion that the House do resolve into a committee of the whole to consider the various reports. I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. The House is hereby dissolving the committee of the whole to consider the report. Respected colleagues, the first bill to be considered for an act to establish a Federal College of Medical Laboratory Science and Technology, ECA Medium, Akwa Ibom State, to provide for the courses leading to the award of diplomas and certificates in medical laboratory technology and other related courses and for related matters. I now invite the leader to move the business for the report. Sorry, leader, is this an executive bill or is it an executive bill? This one? The first one?
Most of them were.
Then why are they asking the leader to give the synopsis of the bill?
Yes, I don't know.
It should be the committee, not leader.
It's a House bill. There should be a member.
There should be. It should,
Yes,
have, it should have gone to the committee that handled it.
Yes, sir, Your Excellency. It's a House bill, which means that a member should be responsible for it.
No, it's not about the sponsor of the bill. It means then committee have done their work. If they have done their work, they are the one to report to the House, to come to the hall.
Bill was committed. It's a recommitted bill.
No, you are the one to clear. Why are you looking backward?
It was committed.
Can you write this bill to the chair?
Mr. Chairman, the bill was committed to the Committee of the Whole from the Presiding Assembly.
Presiding Assembly?
Yes, sir.
So based on the argument of the Chairman House Committee on Rules and Business, and perhaps by your leave then, I now give the synopsis that the bill should be considered and passed.
That is not a synopsis leader.
That is how best I can synopsize. Linda, help me synopsize.
I think, let me advise, as they put pressure on you to list, you should also do the needful. Then the needful means liaising with the relevant organs and institutions that are responsible. Because if you list and then the person is not ready to give, and the mood of the house is bad, how do you handle it?
Is to invite the sponsor to speak to
It's not the sponsor, that's on their rules. He is supposed to guide us. It has passed its own stage. Thank you.